Hey everybody. Today we're going to be using ShuttleOps to take an existing code base and create a container image from it and push that image to a container registry. This involves having a build pipeline with a VCS repository as a source and a container registry as a destination. As you can see here, I currently can't select the container registry as a destination, and the reason for that is because I have not yet connected the container registry to ShuttleOps. In order for me to do that, I navigate to the Connect tab, and on the container registry card, I hit connect. Here, I'm prompted with a set of values, the first one being the name of the connection. And this should be something akin to the name of the container registry. Or if you're going to be connecting to it multiple times, you can name, it could be a combination of the container registry name and your username. Now, because this is going to be my first and only connection to this particular registry under this account, which is going to be Docker Hub, I'm just going to name this Docker Hub. The registry URL is DNS name for the container registry you're adding. And as you can see by default, it is the one that is corresponding to Docker Hub. So registry.hub.docker.com. So I'm just going to leave it as a default. And then we need the username and token. So on Docker Hub, you can go to your profile, hit edit, security, and now you can add a new token. I'm going to add a token named ShuttleOps. As you can see, I'm presented with this token. And I'm just going to put in my username here and paste the token that we just got. I'm going to hit save. And now we've added our first container registry connection. Now I'm ready to build an application as a container image. The application that I've chosen to build is Cache. Cache is an open source status page tool. And the reason why I've chosen this is because the Docker file is relatively simple and it builds relatively quick. So I've forked this repository and it's under my account, and my account is already connected to ShuttleOps, meaning that when I create a build pipeline and select GitHub as a source, I'm going to have this repository available. So I'm going to select GitHub as a source, the container registry as a destination, and it's going to be a basic pipeline. I'm going to name it Cache because that's what we're building, and I'm going to create it. Now, when I add my code, I am going to select the repository that I forked. It's just called Docker. However, I'm going to rename it because this isn't a good name for my component that I'm building. And this is also going to be the name of the container that we're pushing. So I don't want it to simply be called Docker. I want it to be called Cache. So I'm going, oh, and it needs to be in lowercase. So I'm going to save it as Cache. And now I'm able to select the destination. So as you can see, we have drop down of our connections. So I'm building to Docker Hub. This is going to be building under my the namespace, which is the same name as my Docker Hub username. And it's going to be pushing to the latest tag. So I'm happy with all of this. And I'm going to now hit launch. Our build has kicked off, and this is going to take a few minutes. After a few minutes, our pipeline is successful. We can see in the Docker build stage how the Docker file steps have been taking place and that the container has been pushed to the registry. We can go to our Docker Hub, go to our repositories, and see that we have a push, a very recent push. So that right there is how we use ShuttleOps to take an existing code base, build and push a Docker image to a container registry. I hope this was helpful and that it'll help you add your own code base and build your own container image to push it to your registry.